What if everything you thought you knew about one of the most photographed women in the world was built on a timeline that doesn't actually exist? A story so carefully crafted that even the smallest crack could bring the entire narrative crashing down. For years, the world followed the rise of Meghan Markle, the actress who became a Duchess. But lately, whispers have turned into a roar. And they're not just coming from the internet anymore. They're coming from the man who was there at the very beginning, her own father. Thomas Markle is stepping out of the shadows again, not just seeking reconciliation, but pointing to a detail many believe has been hiding in plain sight: the truth about her real age, and a past that may not be entirely accurate. As of early 2026, the situation has taken a heartbreaking turn. Thomas Markle, now 81, has survived a life-or-death health crisis in the Philippines that led to the amputation of his left leg. He's now in a rehabilitation center, undergoing physical therapy and waiting for a prosthetic. Even in his weakest moments, his message hasn't changed. He wants to see his grandchildren before it's too late. But while he seeks peace, the legal and social media battles surrounding his daughter's past continue to intensify. His son, Thomas Jr., has spoken out about the silence from the Duchess, even after she reportedly sent a letter to his hospital bedside. This family rift is no longer private. It's fueling a global investigation into the Sussex timeline. When a father nearing the end of his life claims his child's official birth year is wrong, people don't ignore it. They start digging. The investigation into Meghan's real age often begins with a piece of evidence that's hard to dismiss. In a digital world where anything can be edited, print remains permanent. The detail that keeps resurfacing is a 1997 issue of 17 magazine. This wasn't a blog post or a caption. It was a major publication with editorial oversight. On page 90, there's a feature on a young aspiring actress named Meghan Markle, and next to her name, her age is listed as 21. Now consider the math. According to the official narrative, she was born on August 4th, 1981. That would make her just 15 or 16 when that issue was published. A major teen magazine listing a minor as 21 isn't a simple typo, especially in the 90s, when accuracy around age was crucial for legal and modeling reasons. But if she really was 21 in 1997, that points to a birth year of 1976, a 6-year gap that reshapes everything about her early career. What makes this more puzzling is the lack of motive at the time. In 1997, Meghan wasn't a global figure. She was a student trying to get noticed. There was no major image to protect, no royal connection, no reason to appear older unless she actually was. Some argue she may have aged up for opportunities, but the 1976 timeline begins to appear in other places too. That single magazine page became the first domino, raising a larger question. If the beginning of her story was shifted, what else might have been adjusted along the way? As interest in the timeline grew, attention shifted to her college years. Photos from her time at Northwestern University started raising eyebrows. One viral image from the university's salsa club shows Meghan alongside several classmates. At first glance, it looks like a normal early 2000s college moment. But when people examined the ages and graduation years of those in the photo, things didn't quite line up. Many of the individuals in her social circle were born between 1972 and 1975. If Meghan was born in 1981, she would have been a 19-year-old freshman, spending most of her time with people nearly a decade older. While not impossible, it's unusual. Observers point out that her presence, style, and overall demeanor in those photos align more with her peers than with someone significantly younger. This theory gained traction as alumni records were examined. Her name often appeared alongside groups that graduated in years, suggesting an older age. In industries like Hollywood and royalty, age can be everything. Appearing younger can open doors, extend careers, and shape public perception. But there's a catch. When you become globally recognized, your past doesn't disappear. Classmates remember, records exist, and timelines can be traced. This brings the focus back to her family. They claim they weren't just observers, they lived through it. One major point of contention is her relationship with her half-sister, Samantha Markle. Samantha, born in 1964, has challenged the narrative that Meghan grew up as an only child. The commonly cited 17-year age gap has been disputed, with Samantha suggesting it's closer to 11 or 12 years. If Meghan were born in 1976, that would make the gap 12 years, aligning with Samantha's account of shared experiences during their upbringing. The only child narrative becomes harder to support if they were close enough in age to have a meaningful relationship. The issue has even entered the legal arena, with Samantha pursuing defamation claims tied to these statements. Meanwhile, Thomas Markle Jr. has also spoken out, describing the public version of Meghan as a carefully constructed image. They point to her teenage years living with her father while her mother pursued her own path, details often minimized in official biographies. Critics argue that by adjusting timelines and distancing from family, a more compelling origin story was created. But why would any of this matter? In Hollywood, age isn't just a number, it can define your career. For someone trying to break through, appearing younger can mean more roles and longer relevance. But when Meghan married Prince Harry in 2018, she transitioned from Hollywood to the British royal family, an institution rooted in records, lineage, and legal accuracy. Marriage documents in the UK require precise information. If any detail, including age, were incorrect, it could raise serious legal questions. Some believe the palace may not have investigated deeply, relying on official documents. Others speculate discrepancies may have been noticed but overlooked to avoid pre-wedding controversy. The absence of a publicly confirmed birth certificate has only added to the speculation, with debates continuing online. Questions intensified with the birth of Archie in 2019. The timeline of events, from the delayed announcement to the amended birth certificate, sparked confusion. The document was later updated to remove Meghan's given names, replacing them with her royal title. While some saw this as a stylistic choice, others questioned the reasoning. Why remove legal identifiers from such an important record? Medical discussions added another layer. Depending on the assumed birth year, Meghan would have been either in her late 30s or mid-40s during her pregnancies. Medical experts note that pregnancies at those ages typically involve increased monitoring and recovery time. Descriptions from Prince Harry's memoir about the birth raised eyebrows among professionals, particularly the short hospital stay. While none of these points confirm anything, they've fueled ongoing debate. The broader theme that keeps resurfacing is the idea of the Hollywood mask, the notion that once an image is created, it becomes difficult to separate from reality. In entertainment, adjusting personal details isn't uncommon, but in a royal context, where history is documented and preserved, even small inconsistencies can have lasting implications. This brings everything back to Thomas Markle. As a former Hollywood lighting director, he understands how narratives are shaped. Now at 81, after a life-altering health crisis, he appears determined to share his version of the story. Whether his claims are accurate or not, they've reignited global interest in the Sussex timeline. So where does that leave us? A 1997 magazine listing her as 21, college photos suggesting older peers, family members disputing official narratives, edited documents, and debated timelines. Each piece alone might seem insignificant, but together, they form a pattern that raises questions. At its core, this isn't just about a number. It's about identity, perception, and the cost of maintaining a public image. A father in rehabilitation, hoping to see his grandchildren. A global figure navigating intense scrutiny. And a story that continues to evolve as new details emerge. So what do you think is really happening here? Is this a case of overanalyzing small details, or do these inconsistencies raise valid questions? Could someone maintain a secret like this under constant global attention? Or are we witnessing a family trying to be heard? Share your thoughts below. If this made you see the timeline differently, like and subscribe, because this story is far from over, and the next chapter could change everything.